Today, on our part 3 of the course, we are gonna see how we can create a program that utilizing 4 integers given by the user can then calculate their average and sum of their squares. As always, the first thing we need to do is to type #include stdio.h, which tells the compiler to include the standard input and output library, which provides functions for reading and printing data. Then, to start the program, you must write the main function, which is the entry point of the program. Every subprogram must have a main function. We should start declaring our variables. With the int function, we declare a variable named number of type int, which can store an integer value. After that, we initialize a variable named sum of type int also, which can store the sum of the numbers entered by the user. It should be initialized to 0. Then, we initialize a variable named squared sum of type int, which can store the sum of the squares of the numbers entered by the user. It is initialized to 0 too. Finally, we declare a variable named average of type double, which can store a floating point value. It will store the average of the numbers entered by the user. Calling the print function, which prints a message to the standard output, we can write a message for the user, which is to give our first number. You can also type /n, which moves the cursor to the next line. The scanf function reads a value from standard input. The %d is a format specifier, which tells the function to expect an integer value. The num is the address of the num variable, which tells the function where to store the value read. To calculate the sum, we update the value of the sum variable by adding the value of the number variable to it. To calculate the squared sum, we update the value of the squared sum variable by adding the square of the value of number variable to it. The pow function is a mathematical function that calculates the power of a number, which simply means a number raised to the power of 2. The only thing that you have to do now is to copy and paste this block of commands to calculate for the second, third, and fourth number. To calculate the average of the four numbers, we can divide the sum by 4.0. The 4.0 is a double literal, which means a floating point constant. This ensures that the division is performed in floating point arithmetic, which preserves the decimal part of the result. This final line prints the result to the standard output. The percentage %f and percentage %d are format specifiers, which tell the print function how to format the values of the average and squared sum variables. The percentage %f means a floating point value, and the percentage %d means an integer value. The average and squared sum are the arguments of the print function which provide the values to be printed. For the user to be able to understand what the actual program prints, you can write a simple note for them. In this case, we are gonna write the average is, which is referred to the average, and the sum of the numbers squared is, which is referred to the squared sum, and then print the results to finally see if the program is running right. As we tested, the program has no issues and is running fine.